Hello and welcome to my full 2021 bullet journal flip through. This has been the journal that has been with me for the last year, and I wanted to do somewhat of a chatty video for today to show y'all every single page of my bullet journal. So with my flip through, you'll see all the pages that I have yet to share on Instagram or anywhere else. This bullet journal was from Smart Planner, who was kind enough to send me this bullet journal to try out and showcase. In the beginning pages, we have the key and the index, which I hardly use. In the front here, I have 2021 written out with a quote that says, "Manifest your dreams into reality." For the intro pages to my bullet journal for 2021, I had a plant theme, and so a lot of the pages are using a green Tombow pen. Every year I do a mini calendar spread just so I can have a quick glance of the next year, and I write down birthdays and important dates here. It is very tedious to make these spreads, and so I'm hoping to print out these mini calendars for the next year when I do make my 2022 video. Next is my grid spacing, which I hardly use. On the other side is my brainstorm page for the theme ideas that I want to have for the upcoming year. I did stick with some of these, but I didn't stick with all of them. Next few pages are dedicated to my goals of the year. I have on here personal goals, academic goals, financial goals, and long-term goals. On the other side of that, I have my Instagram growth tracker, which I, to be honest, neglected and should have paid more attention, but a lot of these pages in the front were more so planning and tracking purposes, so I didn't revisit them all the time. I have a movie review and anime series list on the next few pages, in which I honestly have also neglected, and so this is important information, I guess, in reviewing, so that I know which spreads and pages I want to recreate for my next journal. Next up is my books to read page, which has actually remained empty since I didn't get a chance to read a full book cover to cover. It is something I still want to include, as it remains to be a goal of mine to read more. The other page here is a highlights page, in which I jot down notes of the different highlights that I had for each month. The next spread is a spread that is one of my favorites for my setups for my bullet journal. This is a snapshot of each of my monthly themes, and so it's a quick overview, kind of in a Polaroid style, of each of my different themes for the month. Definitely gonna recreate this again in my 2022 bullet journal. Next, which I'll flip through quickly, are my Polaroids. They are similar to the highlights that I have for the month, and I have a favorites, which I am planning to add more to later on. And the next page is finally the cover page of my January theme, which was blue butterflies. This was something that I am so proud of to date. I actually made this on a whim, and in creating this pop-up, I didn't really know if it was going to hold up for this whole time, but as you can see, it has, held up pretty nicely, and I know some people have had their doubts, but this is something I'm very proud of, and I still love it to this day. Yeah. And next up is my calendar spread for January. I used a lot of the different stickers that I actually have in my sticker shop. So check it out if you're interested in some of my butterfly stickers. Habit tracker and mood tracker, which I really love how it turned out, and the blue really speaks for itself in this theme. So gratitude and affirmations pages, and my brain dump page on the left side. Then I have my weekly spread, which was a Dutch door that I made. And next up is a letter to my future self, which I actually wrote. And while I'm filming this, it's not the end of the month yet for December. I didn't seal it or anything, but I haven't taken a look at it ever since writing it in January 2021. So I'll be reading this definitely at the end of the year. The other side of this is actually a pull-out page that I made that says change, and it transforms into a butterfly. Something that I wanted to do in terms of having more interactive pages for my bullet journal. This wasn't the most well-made flip page, but it's also something I'm proud of and something that I did to challenge myself for more interactive pages. And that was the end of my January blue butterfly theme. And next up is my February theme, which was loosely inspired by BTS and the pastel colors of the Love Yourself album. This was something that I created and wanted to experiment a little bit with different colors in terms of using pastels, pinks, light blues, lavender colors. And it's something I also really like since I don't usually venture out too much with color. I usually like to stick with a single theme. And I really liked how this one turned out. And another weekly spread which I made into a Dutch door. Something that you will definitely see as a common pattern is I use a lot of Dutch doors to save on time for bullet journaling this year. And the next one is my cherry blossom theme for March. This one, I actually used only markers in creating this theme. And yet another Dutch door spread for a weekly. Sometimes I don't get around to doing a full monthly weekly, which is fine since I actually use my journal more so for journaling than an actual planner, and I actually have a separate planner that I use to keep track of assignments and things to do. This one is a quote page, and the other page, as you can see, has some pencil markings, but it is an abandoned page. Let's just move on from that. Over here, the next spread is a washi swatch that I actually got from Notebook Therapy, which they were kind enough to send over for me. Next up is my April theme, which was a plant/stationery theme that I used watercolor to paint the leaves here. My mood and my habit tracker, which I added different plants and foliage, stems and leaves to the different habits that I did. Next up is my May theme, which I did a mermaid theme for Mermaid, and it was really fun drawing the little mermaids on my spreads. This one I also did a very colorful theme. If you're interested in seeing any of these spreads more in detail, do follow and check out my Instagram page as I do post a lot of my spreads there. Another sketch that I have abandoned and never completed. And the next page is my June theme, which was a black and white theme, and there was also a plant theme. This is also a theme that I'm really proud of and feel like it's one of my favorites. Next up is my July theme, which I feel is pretty uncommon in terms of a July theme. It's not very summery, but it was just something that I felt inspired to do and I just went for it. For this one, I used brown craft paper, which I believe was a recycled brown bag, a recycled brown grocery bag actually. And I used a lot of layering, vintage washi tape, as well as a forest green accent to this theme. And for this, I also played with an interactive page and had the habits as a page like this that I filled out every time and took out. Another interactive theme, which I used tracing paper or vellum paper as a greenhouse door. Yes, I really tried to challenge myself to do more interactive spreads this year. Another interactive spread. I had more room for notes, quotes. Another empty page, which I never went back to write reflections, but sometimes I like to have reflections after a month, but it seems like I didn't get to this page. Next is my August theme. And this one I also really like. I love how the marbling effect turned out with the turquoise blue and the gold water paints. I think that this theme was really striking, and I would love to see it maybe recreated or try something in the future using this kind of similar theme but with a different color. I think it would look really good with maybe like a purple and gold or a deep orange and gold. I just think that this design could look beautiful in another color. And now to September. I did go with a mushroom theme for this month, and I also only used markers for this theme. This was also the first time using a lot of red in a theme, and I really want to challenge myself in the future to do a red theme. Next is my October theme, which I did a magical purple theme. This is also a theme that I'm super proud of and I still love. I used gouache paints for this purple, and I'm really happy with how it turned out because gouache paint is super pigmented and it looks so bold and colorful on camera and pictures as well. Calendar spread where I used a lot of washi tapes from my sticker shop as well as stickers from a friend's sticker shop as well. For most of this theme, I actually was inspired by other bullet journal accounts where they were using a lot of tabs and Dutch door spreads, and so a lot of my spreads for this month was cut out to be a Dutch door style. And over to November, this was a light academia / books theme. I also wanted to keep it very cozy and use a lot of neutral browns and tones. I also really adore how this theme turned out. I honestly think it's one of my all-time favorites. I also love how the layering turned out on this spread. I took advantage of the interactive spreads again, to save space and create a lot of spreads with just the basic layering. This page was inspired by Monday Morning Designs to have a memories page, and it definitely inspired me to do more memory spreads like this. And the very last theme here is my December theme, which I went with a dark blue and gold theme. It's starry and celestial, and I love the layout so much of my November theme that I tried to replicate it for my December theme as well. And that's it for my flip through for 2021. I hope you enjoyed seeing my different themes and spreads. Definitely have a few more pages left of this journal. Don't mind these swatches at the end, but I'm definitely planning on filling the rest of this bullet journal up and write a lot of my yearly reflections. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you were able to get some inspiration from seeing my spreads, and I so look forward to creating more in 2022. Despite 2021 being a really rough year, I'm very grateful that I can look back and find moments of happiness and moments of gratitude. And I want to focus more on that on 2022. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a good rest of the year. Don't forget to stay creative.